So one of the big issues recently is iPhone publicly admitting to slowing down the batteries of its older phones to encourage people specifically to buy the newer models. This is like planned obsolescence, where they deliberately slow down things so that you buy the newer models. This has caused a big problem in Korea specifically because of what's happened in the response, right? And the announcements.
Yes. About the battery problem, Apple noticed for the China in Chinese, which is native language. But for Korea, Apple just noticed in English version, and there was no detail about the replacement.
Actually, I haven't used any Apple things because I think that's not very suitable for Koreans, because if we use Samsung phones, we can use it for credit cards or like transportation systems, and we can watch the TV on that, but we can't do anything like that with the iPhone.
Samsung had its own battery problems quite recently, though, didn't it?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, was it? I mean, what was the Korean reaction to that? Because this was a big joke all over the world, that if you want to commit a terrorist action, all you need is a Samsung phone and you can bomb people and things. That make you feel embarrassed, or do you have any feelings about that?
Actually, it was a little bit embarrassed first time, because when we go to airport, there is a sign like, if you have a Note 7 phone, you can't get into the airplane. But I think their solution was quite better, because they just recall the older phones and change it to the new phones right away. So I think it didn't make the big problem. So I think their solution was quite satisfying.
Korea is responding just for class action, and for France there is a law which is called Hamong law, and it is we can punish the fabrication by monetary or imprisonment. But Korea's response is only class action. I think just class action is too weak, and if we don't join the class action, we can't get replacement. And I think that's not that good response.
Right. Are you going to buy the next one?
I actually changed battery.
Okay. And you paid for it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
Okay. Are you going to get the next phone when it comes out? Devoted. Even after all this, you're still keen on...
I'm a kind of loyal customer of Apple, because I like their user-friendly design kind of things. But in this case, I feel kind of it's not proper, right? I have to pay, even it's not my fault. So yeah, feeling bad. And maybe I think next time, I don't think I'll buy Apple.
As I am a big fan of Apple, I also disappointed at Apple's attitude toward this problem. But as I am really big fan, I already bought iPhone 10 in Korea, even though it was very expensive. So I think maybe I will buy again even this happened.
How did you feel when you saw this Jecheon story? Especially if you consider that the majority of the fertilities are on the female floor, on the second floor of the sauna, and 20 women died because they can't get out. When you see this story, and Korea is a collective society, how do you feel?
It reminds me of Seoul accident, and in this case, the similarity is there was no manager, so no leader.
I think Koreans are kind of insensitive to safety, because they don't usually wear the seatbelt, and also the transportation doesn't have any seatbelt. Also,
that's true.
When I first came here, it surprised me and a lot of other people to see children jumping around in car seats and sort of being passed from the front seat to the back seat and things like that. That's changing though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a long time. That's too.
I've been here a long time. A lot of books will say that because of the historic influence of Japanese colonialism, that Koreans were taught to disobey the law. That even
Sorry.
Koreans were taught to disobey the law, that even though there was a law and they had to learn Japanese and have Japanese names, that although it was the law, you didn't really need to take it into your heart and things like that. Is that still existing today? Is there an element of that that still comes round so Koreans don't obey the law as much, or is it too much of an old story for you?
I think that should be a minor reason for the why Koreans do not obey to the rule. But I think the main reason might be because Koreans usually think it might not happen to me, or if they just do some illegal things, they don't actually, many people don't get catched by the police, so they just think, oh, no one catched me, so it doesn't matter, and it might be any problems for that. So I think that is the main problem for that one.
We all take the bus, we've spoken about seatbelts, we all take the bus and subways and things like that. And we see pictures of thousands of people squeezing on buses and subways every morning. Do you feel safe on public transport here?
No. Because I didn't take a bus and subway when I was high school students and middle school students. I just took a taxi or just walked to my destination because I feel very unsafe and dangerous when I use the transportation. And I saw the man just putting his feet on the door to make a door open again.
Why do you not feel safe on like the bus?
There are no seat belts and there are too many people. And for the bus case, if there is an accident, then I think all people will roll over at the bus. I feel scary.
Yeah. Especially the number of people on the bus. The bus is around. There's so many people on them. Yeah. They're not all sat down, but they're all squeezed in. Let's be safe.